It's the only person below White Holiday in the ComicsGate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sameti. The YouTube WyzGyz. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to WyzGyz Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. Joined today by a very special guest, Joe Catapano. How's it going?
Doing good, doing good. You pronounced my name correct. I know it's a little bit, but you got it.
Oh, nice. Tough. Right on.
Awesome.
I think it comes from having been in customer service and tech support for a while and being exposed to all kinds of people's names.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes. Mine is kind of tough, but it really, if you sound it out as it looks, it works.
Is it Italian?
It's Italian.
All right, nice. Yeah. So, welcome to the channel.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. I saw you on John Malin's show, CG Presents, and I checked out the campaign some real briefly, and I liked what I saw, so I reached out to you to invite you, and I'm glad you accepted.
Yeah, that was a fun show. I got to meet a couple other people I hadn't met before. I think it was the first time I kind of half interacted with Don Chin, and yeah, so good to meet.
And you were telling me a short while ago that you actually had a chance to bring him on your show as well.
Yeah, just not even an hour ago, and we were on the stream. I was able to get him over the hump, so he just got funded.
Oh, nice!
So yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, fantastic! That's great. It's always exciting when a book gets funded. That's really a testament to the community.
Mm-hmm.
Getting together and supporting worthy projects and getting them funded, so it helps brings people's dreams come true.
For sure. Are you a big? Have you been a part of ComicsGate for very long, or I know I'm kind of new to it ish?
I've been. I learned about it and got in it roughly October of 2019.
Okay.
It was one of those cases where. I was watching the growth, and it seemed to be moving at a very fast pace. And I saw how helpful and creative people were, and so willing to help each other. And then I kind of contrasted it with, I was looking on Indiegogo, checking out some campaigns, seeing what was there, and I started realizing there were a lot of cool comic book projects out there, but many of them, even if the story and artwork was awesome, they weren't getting funded, and it just kind of blew my mind,
Right.
And that's when I made a decision to, well, it was one of the driving factors, but it was one of the main reasons I even started a YouTube channel. Part of it, was to vent off about all the SJW invasion of our popular franchises I so loved when I was a kid.
Right.
And still do to this day. But at the same time, this whole energy behind the ComicsGate movement, indie comics, it was like a burst of adrenaline,
Right.
And so welcome Unhinged Entertainment. I'm at work, just dropping by to like and share. Have a good stream. Thanks so much, Jason.
Awesome. Thanks.
Good to have you. So I got so pumped up from the adrenaline rush that I figured, there are so many great books out there. They need to be seen by more eyeballs. So I figured I'd go into indie comic book promotion.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that roughly over the last year. Yeah.
Awesome.
And at the same time, I figured I'd probably catch a lot of flack if I do all this promotion, but I don't support them.
Mm-hmm.
So I also decided, okay, I'd better back them too. I'd better back the books that I like.
Well, it's kind of I didn't want to interrupt, but
No, go
it
ahead.
kind of coincided. I really like ComicsGate for, like you said, the community, but I'm maybe only 6 months in to CG, so I'm like relatively new. I checked out EVS way back because I'm a big fan. It's one of the only artists I have on my wall. But I wasn't just. I'm a little bit into Star Wars, so the Phantom Menace kind of didn't like super appeal to me. But anyway, around 2018, I saw it and I was like, oh, I'll check this out later. But I didn't realize the problems with the mainstream at the time. So it kind of coincides together. Like right now, I back so many indie books and so many ComicsGate books, mostly because the mainstream books are just not bringing it. They're just not bringing what you want to see, or like some of them do. There's some like image books you break down and you just have to get, or if you're still like a huge fan of Batman or something, you might get some Capullo books. But to me, that's how it worked. It was like, I'm not spending any money on mainstream comics anymore. So that money can go to the indie guys now.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
When it was like, let me see. Last I checked, you know how on Indiegogo you can look at your profile and it tells you how many times you backed a camp?
Yeah. Contribution.
In this past year, I'm at 186.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so now, don't get me wrong, that doesn't represent 186 unique campaigns.
Right.
It represents how many times I physically backed. So I think a more accurate number would be 170, 175, because there are several campaigns that I backed multiple times.
Right.
Some because of the way the campaign was designed, where I had to, not necessarily had to, but because I wanted a certain number of items from the campaign, and I couldn't achieve it through one transaction.
Right.
But there are some campaigns I fall in love with that I go, all right, I'm going to keep supporting them.
Sometimes you want, like the side item, you want the book, but you also want the sketch or something that don't bundle together, Sometimes that works out that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure there's tons of creators that are super appreciative of the double back, or just supporting in general. That means you're supporting probably more than 60%, 80% of books in ComicsGate, probably, right?
I don't know. What I do know is that it seems like, if you compare ComicsGate from, it technically I think started 2016, very, very early stages, but when the term ComicsGate used to be used as a slur, but the movement as a whole transferred it into good. Probably started around 2016. 2018.
Yeah, 2018. You're right. Yeah.
2018, and then where was I going with?
Like just how many people you backed?
Maybe. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you compare the number of books out back then, and compare it to how many out there are now, it seems like it's at least quadrupled, at least. There's so many creators out there now that I have challenges keeping track of everyone. So a lot of them even drop off my radar, or I simply miss them. Right. So I rely on other comic book promoters at times to help me locate these other creators who need more exposure.
And that's I think that's also another cool part about it. Like half the creators are also promoters sometimes. Like, everybody tries to have their own system of attracting and just like keeping an audience, and also create their own book. So the cool part is if you get promoed, you're actually talking to the creators rather than just, some random fan. I know you're a fan and probably maybe a creator now. I don't know if you've gotten to that point yet.
It's on the back burner. It's something I'm working on behind the scenes. But
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's cool to also, get to talk to Rob the Replicator or, whoever you're talking to, and it's just a community where that all happens organically. It's not like you're not paying a guy to go jump on your stream, and it's all just good faith and good, I guess, like just interaction. Just everybody's in it to help everybody else, and at the same time, they love the medium that much. And luckily, the platform of crowdfunding works. Like it works for the creator. It works for the most part. You're paying a little bit more, I'd say, generally for a comic, but I think you're getting a little bit more out of it. Like imagine you getting this opportunity with some of the big names back in the day, like whoever, John Byrne or whoever. Just imagine getting one of their personalized books, directly from them. You'd be psyched about it. Whoever it may be. I wish more of the big guys were doing that now, because you would definitely be for it.
Yeah, I mean we already have a bunch of the big guys.
For sure.
As time goes by, some of them are kind of waking up to the fact that the big two are not where it's at anymore. They're going down a steady decline, and the parent companies of both don't seem to have much interest or passion in maintaining comic book as a publishing business anymore. So, we've got EVS, we've got John Malin, we've got Dan Fraga, Graham Nolan. He's got Shanu.
Oh yeah.
And
right. There's other big ones that are not necessarily ComicsGate, but I see them coming around. They're just they're not against it. They're just not like, I know it's just not the right timing. And some of them are like that. Some of them are against it. And obviously those people are, whatever, they can do whatever they want. We don't care.
Yep.
But I do see some of the bigger names coming to it. They just haven't been introduced in the proper way yet, or the timing hasn't been right.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see here. I wanted to ask if you'd take a moment to kind of, this being your first time on this channel, if you take a moment kind of sharing your origin story. Like how did you grow up and get interested in like comic books, let's say, and did you have like a formal schooling in writing or comics or art, and what eventually led you to releasing your own crowdfunded book?
Sure, I can give you the backstory. Hey guys, hail.
Hello, Tom.
So yeah, my origin story is a little bit of a unique one, because most people start reading early. It just appeals, and I would love to, but my parents kind of sheltered me away from it. They were like really Catholic, and just I grabbed whatever books I could and snuck around and grabbed what I could. It was interesting because it made it even more appealing, because you're in this environment where now it's counter culture. It's almost now you're like a rebel plus the cool art. Yeah. So yeah, I would sneak around, grab whatever X-Force and whatever else I could grab, like the coolest comics I could find. And I never really owned them, because I'd take them from friends and have to give them back, or, you know what I mean? It wasn't this wholesome. It wasn't an experience that I could really pinpoint and say, it felt like home, or, it was just like something that, almost like a, I don't know, just something not wholesome. It wasn't like, it just felt like I was stealing or something, you know what I mean? Because the guilt or whatever else. Anyway, so as a kid, that's what my life was like. And later on through school, I'd read more, and I'd get interested in drawing. And that's kind of what led me back to comics. Was I went to college for animation and ended up doing a lot of art, realized I wanted to do 2D art more than I wanted to do 3D art. And it kind of led me down this self-drawing, self-learning path of becoming good at art. And that led me back to comic books because it was just the art that I liked. So I think I just went to a comic shop in college one year, and this was 2006. I was old by then, like not old, but like older for beginning to read comics. I was probably like 20, and I'd grabbed like all the best hits off the shelves, and I think the first book that really appealed to me was Freddie Williams, which became one of my like mentors. Freddie Williams did a book. He did a Robin run. That was like the first time Robin felt cool. I was like, oh, dude, if this guy can make Robin cool, I wonder what else he could do. And he later on, now he's doing, Batman and TMNT. He's doing He-Man, Thundercats crossovers. But anyway, that was the first kind of big one for me. And then from there, it just like was a progression of getting better at art. And all the 2D stuff, I was pretty much self-taught. And, I've got art is in my family. My mom was an art teacher. All my good friends are strong artists. So like once you're in that environment, you just get better and loving the environment, loving what you're doing. And that's kind of what drove me back to comics. I never really thought I would do my own book, though. I always thought it would be a thing where I would get hired by a publisher, do the normal route. And that was my goal. I spent hours and hours just doing samples, sending samples, getting critiques on samples of work, and just trying to get hired by a publisher. And I was very close a couple times, and a couple of them are the smaller companies won't pay much. So I passed on those just because of money situations, But at some point I ended up realizing, it was not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, that maybe this route isn't the best route, first of all. And two, I've got my own ideas I want to do. So that's when Star Circuit kind of came about, which is, it's not my first story because I've got plenty on the back burner that I was like, this won't work. This is cool, but I don't want to be embarrassed about it. Star Circuit felt like everything I wanted to see. No one else is really doing it. And it's one that I would actually spend years on. But yeah, I think that's my origin. It's a little bit less conventional than most fans, I'd say.
And you said that you have a lot of friends who are into drawing, so you get each other and stuff like that.
Well, yeah. Once you, we'll start out with my other stream. My stream is called Art Bros on Wednesdays. It's at usually 7, but we did it at 6 today for Don Chin, and it's me and my buddy Jeremy. We are high school kind of friends, but not really friends. We weren't friends in high school, but anyway, he was like my oldest, I guess, like peer, mentor / friend. And then from there, once you go to college, you find more people. And sometimes you find people that are just so good. You just, you just meet people at conventions and they end up working at DreamWorks or wherever else. They got big jobs, but they're still your friends, and through all that, you just get better because you want to get to their level, or maybe they give you a critique and you're like, it hits home closer because they know your work. But yeah, that's you're right. There's a lot of friends like that.
Cool. Do you have any favorite stories, like when you were making your submissions to company publishers and stuff like that? Do you have any favorite stories of when you got feedback and it was either like a glowing review or something that felt like possibly even too critical?
Yeah, I can give you the ceiling and the floor on that one, because I definitely have the ceiling and the floor. I've got a side one. I did have one from not Jorge Jimenez. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name now. Jim Jimenez? No. He did Wonder. He's famous for Wonder Woman. But I caught him on the last day of the con, the last second. He was like running to his like taxi as he's giving me a critique. pretty much walking out of the con and he liked my stuff. It was very inspiring. He gave me a draw over at the same time. That was a side one, but I think the floor, the funnier one, is by Jim Chung, I think, who did what is he most famous for? Because recently he hopped over to DC with Jorge Jimenez a little bit, and but he's doing X-Men for a long time. some Avengers. Anyway, he gave me the harshest critique ever. And it was early on. I was like 2015. It was before I really got the ball rolling with just improvement and improvement. But yeah, he like went very hard. It definitely was sobering. Just one of those like, oh, your anatomy sucks, your perspective sucks, you probably need to work harder. Like stuff's like you don't ever want to hear this from your hero / professional.
True.
But I respect him, and I told him later that it did make me push harder about it. My ceiling though, the side story of the airport kind of critique, that was fun. But my real ceiling is Freddie Williams, which the Robin book that I really liked. Freddie Williams gave me a critique, and then suddenly we had this like mentor-mentee relationship through email, and he gave me critiques back and forth. And he's probably one of the first guy that maybe she's the first guy that I showed Star Circuit early test to, and he was like, "This is cool, you need to do it."
Wow.
And interesting stuff. So that's my ceiling. It was like, oh, I got my hero to like not only like my work, but kind of like want to interact a little bit.
Wow. Have you had a chance to stay in touch?
Yeah, I mean, he's so busy these days. He's like, I don't know how many books he does at a time, but his workflow is so super intense.
Wow.
And it's okay if he doesn't get back to me. I'm sure at some point it'll make that kind of reunion that much better if we ever get to chat again. That's
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So, thanks for dropping links, Tom. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's cool to. I had like 100 followers not long ago, but through ComicsGate, we've just been following each other and like building a community. So I know I'm over 300 now. So it's definitely
that's some good growth.
Yeah.
Nice. So you studied animation formally and 3D animation, and then you went to you started focusing on 2D animation. What was the appeal to you with 2D animation?
It was some 2D animation because of Akira, and that's kind of also inspiring Star Circuit as well. But also it was mostly comics and concept art. And I ended up working at a startup game studio as a concept artist first before I started doing really comics. And I don't know, just something about it. I was showed a guy my art, and he liked it, and then it just passed on. And one of my artist friends that I knew got me the connection and got me the job. So doing the concept art gig, it's almost like I feel like concept art is like a prerequisite for doing comics almost. It's like if you can design worlds and you can design characters, you can. All it takes from that point on is repetition and storytelling, But yeah, doing concept art was the main jumping off point. Something about the invention and like you've seen those like concept art books, or even like after The Mandalorian, like the concept art that plays. A lot of it's even better than the show or better than the movie.
True.
And that's what inspired me. I was like, oh, it doesn't matter if the production's that good. Like your concept art can be better and like almost like live past the actual work. So that's what led me that way. I did digital paintings and digital sketches, and it led me down this path of understanding digital as well as traditional. And I actually did a side comic for that game company that never really went anywhere. But I'm glad it didn't, because it was like a testing thing. It was like it wasn't superhero, so it was different than what I knew, and I had to figure things out. And I don't think it turned out as great because I just didn't get the whole talking heads thing a lot. But
so that game company is no longer around?
I don't think so. It was called Cypress Inheritance. I usually don't bring them up because they actually went into a lawsuit to get my last paycheck from them. So. Yeah.
Well, hopefully you got that resolved, man.
Oh yeah, no, there's no problems with that. Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. Yeah. So do you still do 2D animation in your free time, or is that like one of your like quote unquote 9 to 5?
2D animation, a little bit, but not really. It's more like just the accents that I want on the page of like my campaign page or whatever else. Not a whole lot. I like doing small things. I do storyboards still because that's a part of everything. It's weird how all these things connect. You get storyboards, you get comics, concept art, and they all kind of intermingle a little bit because in some ways you need, if you can do storyboards, you can kind of do comics
Sequential art. Yeah.
Sequential art. It's interesting because I know it's Charlie Snogans who's doing Fatal for Clint Stoker. He's a storyboard artist, and you can see his there's no reason that he's probably one of the best artists out there, period, regardless if you're in CG or not, in my opinion. And he's a storyboard artist. I think it's a knack. Once you know how to go from one shot to the next shot and what you need to know to establish things, it applies everywhere. So I don't know if I went on a huge tangent there.
No, you'll find my channel tends to be about tangents.
Awesome. I'm all about it.
Yeah. So that's pretty trippy. You got some great experience there. So you came up with the book Star Circuit. Is this your first venture into comics?
Like an actual book that I'm writing and producing, or what exactly?
Well, actually, have you, besides that one small book for the game company, did you do other comics?
I did a lot of samples and I did sketch cards. So this is technically the first published book. Technically.
Oh, all right. How long has the idea of Star Circuit been in your mind? How long did you develop it?
A long time. So it was probably an idea in 2015, 2016. I did a test and showed Freddie Williams. He was down for it. He liked it. And from there, I was like, I don't know if this is exactly how I want to go. But in 2017, I did concept art for a year and a half, and just I had to figure out like if this world was cool enough, if the bikes were cool enough, and at the same time, I never wrote like a full arc of something. I did short stories, and I like doing like that sort of thing, creative writing, but nothing where there's a full arc between episodic issues and chapters. So that all had to be figured out as well on top of the concept art. But I had a blast doing it at all. It just you can actually go to my page. If you go to starcircuitcomic.com instead of this, you can see the sketches and stuff as well.
Starcircuitcomic.com.
Mm-hmm. And that's where you can view the preview. It's like the first 4 pages are there as well. And I got the developer blog there as well with some of these sketches that I'm talking about. It was interesting for a long time because I have a day job. I work as a contractor for DoD down here in Florida, and for a long time I would wake up at early morning. Actually, you can go to the bottom. There's a link at the bottom of that page.
It seemed like you took me to the same place.
No, the bottom right should be that right website link below free preview. That right little website looking one.
Oh,
yeah, there you go. That'll bring me to the website. So here, if you click developer blog at the top, dev blog on the heading.
Oops.
Hold on. Good.
Want to know when you can get your hands on Star Circuit? Oh, all right. Which one did you suggest?
Dev blog. Yeah, here you're just going to get like a lot of the concept art. This is a later collection of them, but
oh wow.
Yeah, you can definitely run through these as I talk, and you can get the idea of what I went through. But like I said, for a long time, I was waking up like at 4 in the morning before I went to work, and I would do writing for the most part because it was the only time where I could get clear ideas on the page. And I wrote for 8 months. Just I would write a whole arc and didn't like the theme, and then rewrite it, and then it took me like 8 months to get the one arc that I liked, and that's why it took me like 2.5 years to get just started. So I've been with Star Circuit. It's for a long time in my mind, at least, and it's crazy that it's, you know, I see Bowsette NC-17 says it's like Immortal Grand Prix, which I haven't seen too much of, but I know what you're talking about.
Dedicated though.
Yeah, so I'm looking to do a lot with it. The arc is going to be like the full arc is going to be like 8 chapters, and the one I'm going to be crowdfunding here is just the first one.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, so it's cool that Star Circuit. Once you have it in your mind that long, it's really cool because you end up developing ideas that you didn't think would even be there. And the way I write the actual comic is the Marvel method. So I'll take the premise and whatever I want for the page or the chapter, and then once I draw it, I rewrite it because things spawn after I draw. So like I'll see that maybe, let's just say like I didn't think this one location was going to look a certain way, and it spawns like a design idea or like a story idea. I'll rewrite a little bit of what happened to work with the art better. So yeah.
Okay, so you actually, excuse me, is this all knowledge you gained from acquired from reading that book, How to Make Comics the Marvel Way?
Not really. I got that as a goof because I've read it like digitally, but my friend got it for me physically at one point. I think what I studied most is, let me look at my bookshelf. The DC series. I think one of the first one, Freddie Williams actually has a digital one, which I liked.
Cool.
But yeah, there's several by DC that I liked.
Okay.
And
so the idea is to put on paper your sketches, your drawings on what the story is, and then if you see something that you want to explore further, then you write about it.
something like that. It's more like sometimes the art spawns ideas that you wouldn't think of in the first place. Like you wouldn't necessarily, let's just say I didn't know what this bike looked like that's on the page. And I didn't see it until I drew it. And then now, since there's a certain design, it can spawn something totally different. Maybe the wreck happens with the bike where the wheels comes off because it's free floating or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that unless you made the bike first. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Bowsette just signed up, and don't make the comics the Marvel way.
Yeah, this is definitely my way. I've got some good reception about the story, so I'm very I'm excited about it. It's a weird mix because racing is not a huge genre in real life. Like there's a lot of racing fans, but it's like a niche thing that most people are not familiar with.
Right.
So it's weird to have this weird this balance of don't go too hardcore because then the mainstream just normal comic fans don't get it, and don't go too hardcore in racing otherwise, or don't go the other way where don't go too soft otherwise the racing kind of fans kind of lose grip of it as well. So it's a balance.
You want a nice little balance. So you don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose too many people.
Oh yeah,
in either direction.
It's tough. I think I found a good medium though.
Bowsette says, love the design of the bikes. I take one in real life, especially in black.
Yeah, I mean, well, check this out. So I do have a guy modeling a 3D model of it right now, and hopefully it'll be ready for the launch because the campaign will launch next month, and hopefully we'll have one ready. And he's a 3D printing company, so he will 3D print it, and we'll probably paint it or do what we need to do to make it awesome. But that's in the works, so you might actually have a physical thing happen.
Nice. Are you gonna have like your most expensive tier be a full-size replica?
I know I should have I know how Commie Mark would do it. He would have like a spoof tier where you get the real bike.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wish I could have some sort of resource where I could do that.
Well, didn't you become friends with Elon Musk at one point?
I wish. Speaking of Elon, though, it kind of spawned a little thought I had. The bikes in this story are called burners, and they're called burners because they burn data as fuel. So,
that's a good idea.
Just like the Tesla brake would use the friction of the brakes to power the battery, the transfer between devices of data, any of the binary data, constantly creates a friction that powers a lot of the stuff in this universe. So that's why we call them burners, but that's also, a cool way that the whole Star Circuit universe kind of ties together.
That's a cool idea. It also sounds kind of like a play on the term rice burners, like Japanese motorcycles are often referred to
as rice burners. Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, that would be sick. Awesome. Lol, full-size replica electric bike.
I wish I had the full trailer to show you guys because that's almost done. And
don't go T-Mobile.
Yeah. But yeah, soon, because I was with the trailer, we had to get the right sound for the bikes. Because in the trailer, we have the bikes they're not physically animated, but you definitely get the sense that they're moving. And with the sound effects, we wanted to get this nice feel because they are kind of more electric than not, but they're also not that clean electric sound either. So it's like this in between that we had to mess with.
So you're working out the details on the sound of the bike?
Yeah, it's actually all done. The trailer, I saw the final cut yesterday. It's just missing a couple things, but it's amazing. It'll blow your mind. This trailer, I think it's going to be the thing that sells the book. If anything else doesn't sell it already.
Did you make the trailer yourself, or did you bring someone on to?
No, I didn't. I had Ted Zagaro make it. I don't know if he did Mermaids. The Mermaids guy.
Really?
College of the Dead. That's Adam Post. He did Liam's book. He did Eddie Winkler's book. That's his.
Wait, was Liam's Xenotype?
Yeah, Xenotype. Yeah, he did that trailer. I don't know if you're familiar with those trailers, but they're amazing. And I was like, okay, he can do my trailer really well. And I think this is his magnum opus so far. Like when you watch this trailer, it's longer than the other ones, and it has this nice flow. It's great.
Oh, cool! I
can't wait to show it to people.
That sound would probably be more like the RoboCop reboot bike. I don't remember what that sounds like.
Yeah, me too. Offhand, I can't remember what the reboot bike sounded like.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch that. I mean, it wasn't a bad movie, but it's hard to beat the original.
Yeah, it's good for like an afternoon flick to throw on if you like that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, and I do.
Yeah. But I'd love to go through the campaign page a little bit and just tell you a little bit about maybe some of the other small details that we're working on. Oh, that's interesting. This video, the comic penciling episodes that I do on my channel, this one in particular focuses on me drawing a double-page spread in the book. So you can watch me do a whole double-page spread in that video for the book.
How long is this video? Do you know?
Probably half an hour, maybe.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. Sweet.
So that was way back. That tells you how long ago it was. When was that? 2016? That's when I first showed it, maybe.
Oh, so you actually had been working book in 2016?
Not fully made. I just as much as I had done, I showed.
Oh, and you were in Artist Alley too.
Yeah.
So, what exactly did you have at your booth?
I had a giant banner made of Star Circuit, and I just show all the like I said, I'd made so much concept art. I could sell the book just with the concept art without pages, and I just was trying to sell. Nobody without the book and without a community like CG, you lose a little bit of the momentum. But yeah, I would just show it off my art, try to sell prints, try to talk to the names. Actually, Patrick Parnell, who's on a lot of Shane Davis's programs. He is right near me. He's in Tampa, so we're at the same conventions all the time. I talk to him a lot before I knew he was in CG. But it's a fun time to just try to sling your wares and talk to your friends and meet people.
So you were selling your concept art pages?
No, I would just sell my other work, like print pinups of like fan art and stuff, and just talk about stuff. I would build my mailing list. I would say,
nice.
This book is coming. I know it's early on, but you guys can check it out in a couple of years or whatever it is, in a year. And I didn't think it was going to take a couple of years, but that's what it did.
Hey, at least it's out.
Yeah,
you're ahead of the game when you consider that a lot of people keep it in their head and it never comes to life. That
or just kickstart it, or not kickstart, but crowdfund it, before it's made. Like that's just a little bit riskier on your first book.
Yeah. It's very risky. Sure.
So I decided to make the whole book, and now there's no pressure. Now it's just me do this. Plus I'm getting hired by other people to do other books. So now I can pimp Star Circuit while I work on other books, and then switch back to Star Circuit Chapter 2 when that comes.
So it's literally totally completed now.
Yeah, Chapter 1 is done. Eric Weathers has to finish some letters, but yeah, that's it.
And then are you going to send it to the printers, or are you going to wait till you're live?
Oh yeah, definitely waiting until I'm funded and fully done. Which I don't think it's this. I think the book's going to get funded. I'm not looking for much, maybe a few thousand. But I think 3,000 or 4,000 will cover costs, so I think I can hit that.
All right. Yeah, I mean, judging by your artwork and the story,
I can give a little blurb about what the story is. So Star Circuit is what I consider a cyberpunk, like an Akira book, but it's a cyberpunk racing adventure rather than this kind of dystopian feel. It's a little bit more lighthearted, but at the same time, really, really grim, still mature. So the blurb is: on the augmented streets of the central colony A.2.1, a culture revolves around this high-speed motorcycle league where androids have kind of dominated this circuit, this whole competition for generations now. So in the current timeline, these characters that you're introduced to think that it's impossible to win against these androids that are racing. So we follow an arrogant, kind of damaged asshole of a street racer, and that's our heart and soul, the character. He's just this asshole that becomes not an asshole by racing, and that's just how in a nutshell. So the story runs where he comes across this mentor from back when androids weren't the top dog in racing, and he kind of mentors him into actually going up against them, because no one believes that it's even possible, and it's so far in the future that money is not an object, so no one cares about striving for greatness anymore. No one cares about everything's given to you, so there's no reason for you. What is the reason for you to even try in the first place? So this is the foundation of the whole story's theme is: what does hard work bring you? Does it bring you nothing, or does it bring you more success, or is it the meaning behind everything, or is it not? And that's the whole theme. That's what I based it on.
Very cool. In response to the RoboCop reboot, Madanui says it was okay. They turned up the exhaust and gave it a dirty electric sound.
It's a pale.
I like the original more, though. That's because I think RoboCop's kind of dumb.
He's really clunky, man.
But it was such a fun idea, and I thought the jokes and the little comedy bits, like the TV commercials,
right,
in that world, were freaking funny.
I love going back to them.
Yeah, Hammer is an awesome book. Have you seen that campaign?
No, I'd love to check it out.
Hammer is really cool.
Let me mark it down.
Hammer Post Ragnarok Tale by Jason Krager.
Okay.
I had him on my show 2 or 3 times, and one of the things that's cool about his, it's like the this is like a really rough description, but it's kind of like, excuse me, Ragnarok took place and things are kind of in shambles, and Mjolnir goes in search of a new owner and encounters this young woman, and she becomes kind of like similar to a female Thor, a female god.
Oh, okay.
And what's cool is that in his campaign, not only is he an artist and a storyteller, but he's also a sculptor.
Oh, cool.
Excuse me. So he made several of his characters by hand, by sculpting them into figurines, and then he could use those 3D sculptures as reference for his artwork as he works on the book.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I have it up right now. I dig the cover. I dig the art style there.
Yeah, it's I'm really excited and looking forward to that. That was one of those campaigns I did back multiple times.
Nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably I'll probably back some of these, man. Those sculptures look awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's tough to decide at this point. I'll go back to it and check it out later.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a trip. And then we've got been replaying Doom 2016. Man, they improved upon this game with Doom Eternal.
I didn't get to play the second one, so I'm psyched to know that it's that much better.
Yeah, I mean, when they brought back Doom, it's when they have those kinds of games, those 3D shooters. I really enjoy them, but sometimes when you're playing the single player story mode, and you start out in this nearly pitch black environment, and you've got like broken, shattered lights to see by, and you've got the constant flickering, almost like a strobe effect.
Yeah.
It really bugs my eyes.
I get you. Yeah, it's that story kind of dramatic lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I think the learning curve on that game is pretty high, but I like it.
Yeah, I get the feeling this will be badass. Yeah, it looks good, man.
Dude, I thank you so much. It is. I can assure you that from all my test reads, it's only got positive reviews. I say some decent critiques, like critically, but it won't disappoint.
Cool. Blue Mohawk is smexy. Also love the bikes from Astral Chain.
Oh yeah, I still need to play that, but I saw the bikes on that. I definitely love how they look. Yeah.
When it comes to sci-fi bikes, I've always been a fan of Akira and Tron.
Oh yeah. Yeah, at first I started going a little bit to McFarlane with my bikes. He did those bikes back in the day, and they're like super choppery and like bulky.
Oh, okay.
And I almost went that route, and then I started getting into MotoGP, which is the actual that's the actual fastest league right now on Earth, as we are living. And since I did that, I started redesigning the bikes to look a little bit more like them, so they would feel more just naturally aerodynamic. But yeah, this is one of the cool designs I made. It's a vehicle for it's pretty much traffic enforcement. So if someone breaks the law through like a sensor or something, these things get deployed, and drones pop out of the top of this thing, and they fly around and retrieve data and video, and if they have to, retrieve the person, so it's like this mobile command unit. You can see how big it is next to the guy.
Yeah, reference point. So they automatically collect license and registration.
Yeah, they do all that automatically, and they kind of track you down, and they keep distance until like you make like a violent kind of decision. Sure.
Yeah, these kinds of pictures are cool.
Yeah, I spent so many times like just design. This is the main character, and he looks a little bit different in the book just because you do this picture, and then the next time you draw him is like months later, and so this is a good base, and I still use it as a model sheet. But I just simplify a few things, most notably his hair.
That's cool, man. I mean, even the hair looks like you put a lot of work and effort into it. So
Yeah, definitely try.
It doesn't look like it's simplified.
Yeah.
You can only imagine just how detailed you must have been on the previous iteration. Yeah, so here's a shot of the bikes. That's really sweet.
Oh yeah. This is actually an early shot that I did. Well, actually chronologically too. This chronologically in the book would be before the book starts. It's like a prologue shot. But that'll get covered later when you start reading it. But still, this is an actual race between an android and one of the humans, and it's just a cool shot.
Balzette says Astral Chain is 100% worth full price.
Really. What makes it so good? You can just reply in the chat, and that way you can convince me. I've been looking for a good game.
Yeah, and what platforms is it made for? There's a company in Florida that makes the Tron bikes, electric, and ice.
Oh, really? I'm in Florida, so maybe that's a good starting point to get my replica.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So, yeah, this is the kind of stuff I would bring to my Comic-Con table and just show the characters listed and everything. So,
click to image to go to the Star Circuit Patreon page and support the story.
Yeah, there used to be a Patreon page. Now that's shut down.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, for a long time I had a Patreon page just to get the ball rolling on just like a fan base and whoever wanted to see the artwork up close and everything else. But once it started getting close to the Indiegogo, I said I can't do both. I need to have one that if you go here, you can get it.
So you started a website
started the website to build it, but then shut down Patreon because I didn't want to take people's money if I was just going to then ask them for more money when they back.
Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah.
So,
gotcha. I mean, you can use the Patreon as a tip jar or something.
Yeah, I definitely can.
Let's see here. So then you go into the character bios.
Yeah, these little character bios that kind of give you the basics.
Atlas Metric, the narcissist. Menometric, the traditionalist. Hipterin, the adrenaline junkie.
She's fun.
Nick Delrault, the potential. She looks like a mechanic. Ed Sanosuke, or Sanosuke.
Sanosuke, yeah, you pronounce the E.
All right.
Yeah.
The Legend, and Sandra Drett, the Power Hungry. Oh wow.
Yeah, so that's the basic cast that's in the first chapter, and I think for the most part they're the central cast.
All right. Cool. Took a second to make this headshot sheets that feature the main characters in Star Circuit. Ooh. Is this like a building reference or?
This is kind of like city reference. So the top, the yellow spot. So this is kind of like Final Fantasy VII, if you've seen some of that, where the upper city is like the high class people with the skyscrapers and everything else, and below, actually literally below the city is the slums. So here is just a representation of how high and the relation to everything. So for me, what I wanted to do was just so I could visualize it, what it's like to live in the slums is you have this kind of fake light. And that's what was cool about Final Fantasy is they had like all the lights from the city weren't starlight, but they looked like stars from the slums. You could see up and see all the lights from the upper city, and they would kind of appear like a city or a starscape of some kind.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I wanted it to be this kind of so the bottom really feels cyberpunky. The top feels more, that like fake cyberpunk, like that, like Elysium style type stuff. So
well, that's interesting.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that really helps when you start developing your story. It kind of helps.
So this yellow section is this a side view?
Yeah, that's the side view. Yep.
Profile. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this is a like isometric 3/4.
Yeah.
So on the side view, is this just an example of one of the skyscrapers?
Yeah, it would just be like an example of,
All right.
It would probably go way taller than that too.
All right.
It's just an example to show the color correlation between the two.
Okay. Shroud sector. What is the green? Oh, tower access.
Yeah, tower access.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you could theoretically, if you were permitted, leave the shroud sector and join the people in the tower.
Right.
If they
And
chose to let you come up.
Yeah, if you're able to get through. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's all that happens. Yo, Commie Mark's in the house.
Nice. In the slums is this magenta.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of like the outskirts. A lot of some racing happens there, but in the story, like the top dog premier racers are all androids. So all the street racers are naturally the not androids. Some of them are, but for the most part, that's the only place where humans really get to race each other and kind of mess around. But really, it's the slums, so anything goes. It's just something that happens. Street racing, it's a thing.
Okay. Mixed Detroit become human with Neon Genesis, and you get Astral Chain.
Huh.
Only for the Nintendo Switch. Fairly good story. Lots of quests. Action is awesome. Nice.
Okay, I mean, I think the world building was the one thing that was selling me, and you're telling me the rest of it's good too, so that's good.
No, yeah. I mean, that's if it's really good, then that's a huge boon for Nintendo Switch. That's a popular console, and having exclusive games for that platform is really good for them. Parker Brothers Choppers is the company.
Okay. That's the company in Florida. Okay.
Yeah, that makes the Tron bikes electric and ice.
Yeah, I might have to look that up. If Star Circuit takes off, which it who knows? You never know. But I will be talking to somebody.
Hail, Commie Mark. Hail the chat. Hail the mods. Hail Spam.
And hail, Commie Mark.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah, so like these diagrams, I do this for like all my shots in the comic anyway. I think it's one of the best things you can do if you're drawing a comic is to give you a map, make a map for yourself of the scene. That way you know exactly where the camera's going,
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a good point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you are self-taught, right?
Yeah, I'm a self-taught artist, and I would say writer as well, because writing's I think even harder to teach than art. But yeah, both. And I did the colors here as well. So and that's the colors come from my concept art background. So I keep them simple. I'm all about one of my biggest inspirations actually, and I'll talk about this much, but is from Sid Mead, who is the designer for Blade Runner. He died now. He was the designer for Blade Runner. He's the best futurist that we've seen in the past, 100 years or something, I'd say, besides Ralph McQuarrie. But,
right. Yeah.
Sid Mead is the shit. I love him.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, that's where I get all my color kind of design from him.
It is the bottom half of his. If it's spoiler related, just let me know.
Somewhat, but yeah, what you see is what you get. It's seems glitchy, and so that's kind of what it is.
Yeah, because it looks some like digital legs, but at the same time, you can see his skeleton.
Right. And I haven't drawn much of them, but yeah, for right now, the best thing I can say without spoilers is just, yeah, it looks glitchy and is definitely in a position to be glitched.
He's a glitch in the system. Hmm. Here's the lead character, the protagonist.
Yeah, atlases are cool. And that's why actually I put a Y in his name because of Sid Mead, because he's got a Y in his name instead. It's like a
Oh,
tribute. Yeah.
oh, nice.
Yeah. It's my little tribute.
Okay, and then that's that.
Yeah, so that's my little developer blog that I put up, and just small things are there. I for me, the design part is the fun part. Obviously, I love the storytelling and the writing and everything, but the design is it's just cool to figure out how everything works.
Okay. Got that link again.
Cool. Yeah, that website's a good hub. Even if you want to sign up for the book, you can sign up there as well. You don't have to go to Indiegogo.
And oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say it all goes to the same mailing list.
Oh, all right, very good. They had a light cycle at Daytona Beach Bike Week last year.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh.
Did I need to? I probably have seen them online. I'm sure they get around.
Well, yeah, I mean, they'd have to be, people must have taken pictures of it. That would be so cool to see up close.
Oh yeah, I'm excited just to see a 3D print of my bike, and not let alone the whole a real thing.
Can you reveal at this time what kind of dimensions you're thinking?
Oh, for the bike, right now we've talked about two different sizes, but it's probably going to go smaller than bigger. Something like 3 inches.
3 inches long?
Yeah, 3 inches long. So you can imagine it's like an inch wide, maybe, or something.
Okay, all right, I can see that.
Yeah, it's something like handheld. You could put on your desk, and it'd be like a good little. We could go. There's one where we wanted to go more like 6 inches, but we'll see what the materials are like.
And are you looking to have magnets installed so it suspends the?
Oh, maybe. Right now, it's probably done through like just positioning of the model. Like maybe the ground plane holds the tires there, and then there's a spike. It's going to be maybe done that way. But
Yeah.
we might implement LEDs for the wheel.
Ooh,
So that would be cool.
That would be sweet.
Bowsette says she wants a 3D print. I definitely hope that happens because the model is on its way. So hopefully all the logistics get worked out where everybody can get a 3D print.
Yeah, that's a cool looking riding suit.
Oh yeah, I think he's talking about the Ghost. Yeah,
It's a Ghost. Yeah,
sure. I'm super stoked about the release too, guys. It's only a month away.
even the cops have one. Lol. I want a 3D print. Welcome, Eric McIntyre. How's it going?
Hey, Eric.
Hey, you guys. Very sweet. Let me see here. So let's hop over to this one.
Yeah, that's the sign up page.
So to save his family, a street racer takes on an insuperable racing league dominated by androids. Oh, so you do have a video here at least.
Yeah, this is the teaser. So it's very low key compared to the new one coming, but yeah, it's good.
All right, let's check it out. Oh, cool.
Great.
That's a good start.
Yeah, I made that one myself, and I dig it. It's low key. It's just I wanted to get something there that way something plays, and get the information across, which I always forget to talk about. Obviously, the big bullet points are. I already finished the art on the book, so you don't have to wait on that, guys. So when you back, you get the book probably by June. If that, depending on how long I keep funding for. But also, you get a free trading card if you sign up now and back later. And also, there'll be secret tiers in the beginning. So you'll probably get a secret tier that's discount and a secret tier that's an extra little add-on that no one else will get.
Oh,
So,
all right.
So,
Well, you just knocked out a couple of my questions.
yeah, nice.
Excuse me. Hail, hey, baby Ruth.
Hail nerds.
Hey, buddy, how's it going? Funny thing is, there's a robot that can There's a robot that can ride a bike now. Oh my gosh,
that's crazy.
wow!
I watched a AI drive an F1 car not too long ago. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it doesn't do too great around turns, but it's driving itself.
Well, yeah, and there are cars that are self-parking. Excuse me. I've seen a couple demo videos of that happening. Balzette sent Michael T. DM.
Nice.
Cool deal. Yeah. Excuse me. That music, it kind of reminded me of, I don't know if you're familiar with Ray Lynch.
Ray Lynch? No, I don't.
If you can find some clips, maybe it's on iTunes or whatever, or Spotify.
Okay.
Look up Ray Lynch's Deep Breakfast.
Ray Lynch. Deep Breakfast?
Deep Breakfast, yeah. It was one of my favorite instrumental type of styles of music.
Okay.
It kind of gives you a surreal feeling, and it's pretty trippy.
Yeah, I left that this track I had specially made from a friend of mine, and it's modeled after Blade Runner's soundtrack by Vangelis, but it's very much not a carbon copy, but structurally a carbon copy of how his tracks work.
Oh, okay, all right, cool.
But yeah,
got well for this.
For sure.
I thought the end of it where it started to get more fast paced. It kind of reminded me of the intro to, is it Airwolf?
Yeah.
Series.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I can see that. There's I wanted to do more, but I was I wanted to just make it short and sweet, show less, and maybe just people leave the mystery there. Whereas the new trailer is going to be incredible. I've already hyped it up enough, but it's got a voiceover, it's got everything. So,
okay. Yeah, I mean, I think this does a good job, but is the full-on trailer going to be part of the pre-launch still, or are you going to introduce it when you go live?
I've been talking to a lot of the Aussie guys actually, and that's kind of led me down this road. I think I'm going to premiere it with Michael Bancroft from Lucent. He's gonna promo it for me. But yeah, he's the guy that talked me into using Ted Zagaro for the trailer in the first place. So I thought it was good to do that full circle for him. But
nice.
You're right. Yeah, it's gonna be on the pre-campaign page eventually, whenever I do premiere it. But at the same time, it also will be the final one on the campaign.
The Indiegogo pre-launch pages can be up for 6 months.
Right.
When are you looking to go live?
I got an exact date. I found a nice little in between. It's right in between Valentine's Day and President's Day, so the 16th of February. So you've spent your money on your girl, and now you can go spend your money on some books for yourself. So yeah, it's a Tuesday. So Tuesday afternoon, probably. That's February 16th. We'll be streaming all over the place. But I think the trailer part will be done end of next week, and so look out for that stream with Bancroft sometime next week, probably.
Oh, cool. All right, nice. Yeah, so you're targeting the audience who love to celebrate their favorite presidents.
Yeah.
And, celebrate with chocolate.
Yeah, I should have like a Valentine's 24-hour. Yeah.
Buy a box of candy for the president. Let's see here.
So, do you? How much do you like Cyberpunk? Are you a big fan of?
I like it some. I like the original. What was the name of the freaking movie now? I'm blanking out already. I'm getting old.
Not Blade Runner, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, isn't Blade Runner technically cyberpunk?
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the one I think about. Is shows you how little I know about cyberpunk, but isn't Ghost in the Shell supposed to be considered?
Oh, it definitely is. That's a big cornerstone.
That's another one I'm into.
Yeah, it's all I think between that and Akira and actually the game F-Zero. I don't know if you've seen F-Zero before, but
I'm not familiar with that one, but I have seen Akira, and that one's good.
Yeah, there's several inspirations. You think Speed Racer would be one, but it just didn't hit me at the right time, so Speed Racer missed.
Yeah, Speed Racer's fun. Sounds like Tangerine Dream, Street Hawk theme. Oh wait, isn't Street Hawk the one 80s or 90s TV series where there was a fancy souped up motorcycle?
Huh.
And it was like solid black, like a glossy solid black.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, Street Hawk. Now there's a name I haven't Now there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. It's like an Kenobi quote. Used to love that show, lol. Street Hawk, Knight Rider, The Equalizer, Hard Time on Planet Earth. Yeah, I love Knight Rider too.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag fix your game CDPR.
Yeah. Actually, that's funny because I knew they're in development for so long that I was like, I need to get my comic out before their game goes out. And technically I lost, but technically I won because they pulled it. So
true. Oh shit, I didn't think no one else even knew about Hard Time on Planet Earth. GITS is the definition of cyberpunk.
Yeah, Ghost.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay. Right on. They wasted 8 years. Face palm. Is that the male logo?
Yeah.
Facepalm man. Many surprising titles have heavy cyberpunk influences. Total Recall, yeah, that's good. RoboCop, yeah, that's good. Max Headroom, yeah, that's good. The Sixth Day, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, Johnny Mnemonic is being.
Johnny Mnemonic, yeah, that was fun.
Yep.
Akira, yep, I like that. All of them and so many more.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of Philip K. Dick stuff, obviously, but I'm a big fan of the book Neuromancer, which is I think the foundation of probably cyberpunk, novel wise. But yeah, I'm down for all of those, all the above.
Max Headroom was hilarious. Yeah, it was totally different from anything out there.
Yeah, there's one other one I'm missing from that list, though. I just popped in my head. I'm thinking that actually qualifies pretty well. Besides all the video games that are kind of cyberpunk, but I can't remember now. When I saw the list, it popped in my brain. Now I can't remember what it was.
I don't. this might be more sci-fi than cyberpunk, but Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, that's somewhere in between there. It's definitely got capacities. Like, is the Fifth Element cyberpunk? I think it kind of is in like a weird way.
Yeah, Fifth Element was cool. One of my favorite genres, you could make a good argument that Metropolis from the 1920s is a progenitor of it. Facts. Yeah, pretty trippy. So, do you already have planned, since you got the book nearly done, and did you say you're employing Eric Weathers to do your lettering?
Yeah, Eric Weathers has done some of the pages already, but yeah, he's going to finish out this book. And since he's around, I was like, all right, yeah, he can do them all unless I suddenly become a master at it myself. But
the CG letterer. At one point, he seemed like he was the only one.
Yeah.
He's like doing everyone's books. But it's good that there's more talent out there who is available and interested in doing all these different projects.
Oh yeah.
Keep people busy.
And he's always available. So like, I mean, he's like a go-to, and he does good work. So more power to him.
Networking in cyberspace is a huge element. Lawnmower Man absolutely fits.
Yeah.
Lawnmower Man is more VR horror.
Yeah, that's how I would put it too.
Oh,
but I feel like it does, because it does seem net runny. I'm trying to think of it. Net running is a big thing in Neuromancer as well, obviously.
Yeah. So let's see. So once you're done with the lettering, you're gonna basically go into promotion mode, get on streams, promote the book, shell it, and when you get fully funded, then you'll start thinking about setting a time to send the book to the printers and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, as long as once it starts getting funded, or it hits the 30 days and I'm funded, I'll start making those plans early. But that's kind of how it works. I think everybody will have their books by summer, definitely, but probably somewhere in the spring. And depending on, this is my first crowdfund, so I don't know exactly how much time it takes from printer to shipping to, plus especially now with COVID and everything, I don't know what the shipping's like. It might get longer than what I'm thinking, but yeah, hopefully I'll be doing this. I have another book got hired on for, and then also be able to work on chapter 2, because the whole arc for the whole thing, the whole 8 chapters, what seems like 8 chapters is done, like as far as the outline goes. So
nice.
The story's there, and so chapter 2 is pretty much written already. It just hasn't been made. So as soon as we get that ball rolling, I may do my next campaign pretty early, maybe in fall for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of work done. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Shadowrun is still in my top 5 games for the Genesis. Cool. Brainscan, the Michael T. Crying with laughter. LOL, good one too, but never finished it. Yeah, I never owned the Genesis. They had some cool looking stuff on that platform.
Yeah, for sure. The one that comes to mind that I never had to play was, I just heard about it too. Not heard about it, but Hideo Kojima's first like entry that he did, that one big entry that he did before Metal Gear Solid, was the Cyberpunk game that never came to America, I don't think.
Oh wow.
It was like for some reason Shadowrun, the title brings to mind, but it's not that, obviously. Anyway, I probably can look it up here and see.
Belzette says, I think I still have it somewhere. Gotta find it. Been decades since I've watched some of these movies. So do you have well, let me see. Are you looking to do I mean, by now you might, since you've been with ComicsGate 6 months, you've probably seen how different creators run their campaigns. Do you think or anticipate doing 30 days of funding, then a second 30 days of funding, and then going in demand? Or do you want to do like one 60-day round of funding followed by in demand?
It's tough because from what I've seen, there's no downside to going shorter in some ways. Like I don't see, especially if the book's already made, it's not pulling me away from, doing the art. The art's done already. So all my attention could go to just doing the campaign for another 30. Right now, I do think it'll go 60 days. And then depending on how the traction is, I think I have to play it by year since I've never done a campaign yet. I don't know who's going to see my book. And then if it starts building traction, I'm not going to stop it from getting more eyes on it. I think that's one of the best perks about Indiegogo in the first place.
Yeah,
so
absolutely. And do you plan on employing the feature where you can do add-ons?
Yeah, actually, I can run you down the list of perks that I'm thinking right now.
Cool.
I've made all the graphics for the perks and everything for the campaign already, so I do know what they are. Let me just open my spreadsheet here, my handy spreadsheet.
Organized.
Yeah, like I said, I can double back on exactly what my numbers are and everything else. So we'll have the original cover, variant cover. We're going to do 2 sets of posters. One, a fold-out poster, which is kind of like, it'll be like 11 by 17, but folded out. That way it's not any extra shipping. It's just a cheap little poster. Not cheap little, but it's 11 by 17, not huge.
All right.
And then we'll have an add-on ash can, which is not really an ash can story, more just I'm going to include all my layouts of the book and all the concept art in one spot. It's just an additional book that's probably going to be a few bucks, and then a T-shirt, a poster, potentially that 3D print, and the poster that I'm talking about is going to be this banner style. It's going to be 9 inches by 26, I think. So it's going to have this kind of tapestry kind of length to it.
Different.
A little different. And then like a biker patch and a T-shirt that both have the same design. It's pretty much the logo with some kanji of Star Circuit, which is pretty cool.
Oh.
And I think lastly will be the original sketch and the original art. So I'll draw sketch cards for people for like 60 or 70, I think, and give you a good taste of my art or have an original. And also I'll be selling probably the pages for like $250 a pop, the original pencil work. So
are you a traditional artist or digital, or do you do
both? I work better traditionally. I do all my pages penciled. I skip inking. I just go from pencils to color since I'm coloring myself.
Holy.
So yeah, that's the way I work.
What do you use for colors?
Right now, Clip Studio paint.
Oh, okay. All right. So you do your pencils traditionally, and then you scan it in and do digital inks.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't
colors rather, since you're inking stage.
I try to keep the pencils clean enough where I don't have to do all the cleanup, and I'll just up the contrast, do some cleanup, and then let the colors kind of take over where the sloppiness is too apparent.
Nice. I got so many Ghost in the Shell episodes on DVD, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that would be cool to own the entire collection one day. One of these days I'll get it.
Oh yeah.
Also the Ghost in the Shell PSP game. Oh man, I own a PSP 1000, PSP 3000, but I don't think I have the Ghost in the Shell game. Crap. That's another thing I gotta get.
Yeah, I had a PSP. I didn't have any of that though.
I've got them. Back when they were making the UMDs.
Right.
Those are cool.
I figured out what that game was though from Hideo Kojima with Konami. It's called Snatcher.
Snatcher.
Yes,
Okay.
Snatcher. It's a cyberpunk graphic adventure game. So it's almost like a story based. It wasn't very action based, but it was probably the definition of cyberpunk for video games for a while.
Cool. So Michael T says the game from. Oh, well, there it goes. Yeah, Michael T had it.
Nice. Oh, he had it before. Oh,
Sure, just heard about that one recently. Sounds familiar. Never got translated for Western audiences, but modders have done one. Oh my gosh, that's cool.
Oh, really? Nice.
The talent of people out there is astounding. Sketch cards, Drool. Yeah, I love sketch cards too. I love sketch cards and original art, and that's one of my favorite things about CG, that you get to kind of get to know these creators, at the start of their campaigns, and you see what they're like, see what their personalities like, and it's like a closer bond, if you will.
Yeah.
As corny as it seems, and but you have a closer connection than you do with like the higher ups at DC and Marvel.
For sure. And everybody in the chat, you get a handle for them too. Like you get this kind of representation of them because you're not talking to you, but their personality's there, and you get to go back and forth with exactly what they want and what's cool, what's not cool.
Yeah, you can get instant feedback on what they do and do not like,
and just have fun. It's just cool to like actually have a some sort of online kind of relationship.
Yeah. And the other benefit is being able to acquire, original art while it's still affordable.
Right.
Before the creator explodes into the stratosphere.
I know you get some original art early. It's I have a disappointing thing to say, but my cover has already been. I would have sold that for probably 1,000, but I've already sold it way before because it's been in development for so long. I sold it too early to a guy that was really wanting it, and I'm regretting it, but not really. He was the first guy that really believed in it, so I think he deserves the art. So
that's pretty sweet.
But it's interesting that I don't have the original cover art.
You're going to redo the cover from scratch.
I know, right?
This is the real version. No.
Yeah.
This is the alternate cover of the original.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reboot.
Yeah, the reboot of the original. They reloaded.
Makes sense. I swear I've heard of that game before. What about bookmarks? Need something for Jim Cox to yell about, lol.
Yeah, bookmarks are a solid one. That might be a stretch goal because bookmarks are cheap to print. So you can just add those on real quick.
Yeah, I've seen some really cool bookmarks come out of CG. Get Ghost in the Shell and Valkyrie Profile Lenneth on the PSP. Oh, I think that's another game I don't yet have. I always was super cheap when I would get PSP games and movies. I'd always try and wait for them to go on sale as much as I could possibly wait. And usually all the Japanese titles maintained their value. So they were always out of my price range.
Yeah, I get it. That happens.
And Final Fantasy Tactics: War of the Lions. I even went so far as to get the adapter so you could plug your PSP into a TV and see it on your TV screen. Let's see. There's a pair of awesome YouTube documentaries regarding the origins of the cyberpunk genre, about 90 minutes each episode with a third on the way. Talks about every form of media and its influences. Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I may have watched some of that. I can't remember the guy who did it, but yeah, I think I'm aware.
Hey, Michael T, if you find that, DM me the link so I can check it out.
Share that one out.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's koozies.
Koozies.
And Oh my gosh, and socks. Can't go wrong with socks.
Yeah, socks are the best.
Bowsette needs the PSP adapter. Oh my gosh, yeah. I wish someone had manufactured, at least I haven't seen one yet, but I wish I could find an adapter for my Atari Jaguar. I went from the 8-bit Nintendo console to Atari Jaguar, and then I kind of backtracked and got PlayStation 2. But I want to do streams of my playing Atari Jaguar games.
Dude, that'd be interesting. There's probably not much out there for that.
Yeah, I know. Let me see. So let's go ahead and play this trailer once more, and then we'll wrap things up.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, is that cool? That whole track is cool because I only used a little bit of it, but I like that track.
Yeah, it also reminds me of Knight Rider.
A little bit of that.
Yeah.
As a side thing, I could promote my YouTube channel as well.
Yeah, what's the link on that one?
The link on that one is just
how dare you, Bowsette?
I'll put it in the private chat here.
How dare you? I mean, it sort of does look like a toilet seat now that you mention it. Yeah.
That's funny. I put the link in the private chat.
Especially when you put the CD player on top. It looks like a double toilet.
It's hilarious. So yeah, on my YouTube channel, I do a few different things, but namely, I do art videos. So you go to youtube.com, whatever it's just my name. So you look up Joe Catapano on YouTube, and I do a series called Comic Penciling if you're interested in how to actually start drawing comics, penciling wise. And I also have a fan art series. I do a piece of fan art every week that I actually do sell. And most of the times they do sell out, but every Tuesday I release a new video and the artwork for sale, and also do the stream on Wednesdays that I've talked about, the Art Bros stream at 7 o'clock. Every Wednesday we do that, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Wow, nice.
Thanks, guys. It'd be cool to see you guys in the streams and just in the chat over there. And also, if you like the art, go check out all the art videos. There's tons of them.
32 button controller.
Oh my god.
I have the original controller, and then I got the other one that had like 6 or 9 more buttons, so that you could more effectively play the fighting games, like me, ninja.
Right.
Links are in the DMs. Yeah, I just glanced over and saw that real quick. Thank you, appreciate it. Bowsette subbed, Michael T subbed, Yotam Darkstar subbed.
Thank you
also very much. And if you haven't already, hop on the pre-launch page for Star Circuit. I'll drop the link for that once more.
Yeah, I haven't put it on the page yet, but yeah, just as a reminder, we're launching February 16th.
Almost as offensive as the Steel Battalion controller.
I've never seen that.
I'm sorry, what was the date again?
Date again is February 16th.
Yes, February 16th.
And we'll probably do a 60-day, and there'll be tons of perks. Hopefully there'll be a tier for the 3D print, but be sure to check out the trailer. Oh yeah, follow me on Twitter as well. Twitter is where we all meet up in ComicsGate. I'm sure you guys know. So
yeah, his Twitter is in my video stream description.
Awesome. So follow me there, and you'll see when I do a premiere for the trailer next week. It's incredible.
That should be cool. I'm looking forward to that. Is it weird? I can imagine Atari toilets being real. People have made some pretty weird shit. No, no pun intended.
Oh, nice.
It is big as fuck.
I bet.
Oh man, now I gotta look into that other controller. Yeah, so let me see. Hey, Mata, how's it going? I'm giving you the floor. Please share with the world how you can be found on social media.
Sure. So I am at Catapano Art on both Twitter and Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, though I'm not there much, as Joe Catapano. Also Catapano Art as the page, but YouTube as Joe Catapano. We've got that link out there. And yeah, StarCircuitComic.com is the main site for Star Circuit.
Nice.
That's it.
And as always, you can find me on Facebook and YouTube at WyzGyz Entertainment. You can catch me on Twitch at WyzGyz Twitches, Twitter at WyzGyz Tweets. And please like, comment, subscribe, mark the bell for notifications, and indicate that you want all notifications. So hopefully YouTube sends you notice when there's a new video or stream. And as you'll find shortly, if you haven't already noticed, I've got a full slate of upcoming guests over the next few days.
Oh, nice.
Something like a total of 6 more people, at least, over the next few days. And we're also closing out Hex Allen's stream.
Oh, cool.
Book. That's going to be a long stream. And yeah, I want to thank everyone in chat. You guys are freaking awesome. Appreciate all your support and for hanging with us and checking out this new book that will be out soon, February 16th. And thank you to everyone who watches this on replay. And thanks especially to our very special guest, Joe Catapano.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everybody who signed up and subbed and everything else. All the support's great.
All right, close it. Oh, what do we have here? Later, everybody. Oh, wait. Oh, I don't ring bells, Wyman. Just ask my wife. Okay. Have a good night, all. Closing it out.
Final guest that is the only person below White Holiday in the ComicsGate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sameti. The YouTube sensation. WyzGyz. How you doing? Welcome to the show.